Hello Pisces, and welcome to my channel, Tarot by Gabrielle. This is going to be a general reading for Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, looking at your recent past, your current energy, and your immediate future, answering the question, what do you need to know right now in order to move forward in alignment with your higher self? Friendly reminder that these are general readings and they are not here to resonate fully for everyone, and they won't resonate fully for everyone. So do please remember to take what does resonate and helps your personal situation and to leave what does not. Last thing is that any information on the extended reading or on booking a personal reading or coaching session with me is in the description box below. All right, Pisces, we're going to start with looking at overall energy through oracle cards, and then I'll dive deeper into the story with tarot as we progress. So let's see what you guys have been dealing with. Stay in integrity. This is kind of this energy of feeling like you're doing all of the right things, but still, for lack of a better word, like getting screwed over. And I think that a lot of times, like, especially when we're showing up in the best way that we know how, right? With love and compassion and understanding, and sometimes it's really difficult because it feels like no matter what we do, it never really seems to be enough. You have release blocks. This is a lot of cards came out, so I'm going to take the one that I saw first. And it almost feels like, yeah, no matter how much you give, no matter how much you show up, it just feels like you're never met with that same energy. And I think that this is something that you've been struggling with for a while, almost like no matter what, you're not enough. But you are enough, definitely. But I do feel that there might be some things that are needing to be addressed, that need to be kind of shifted to align with what it is that you do really deserve. So let's get current energy here. For you, Pisces. Strength. I feel like you're somebody who you're very strong and you can handle a lot. And I think you have, to this point in your life, handled a lot. So it's almost like you can deal with it, you can put up with it. And I think that that's been a huge part of like why you've stayed in certain places for so long, is it's like, I know that, I can handle this. I'm used to dealing with this. I'm used to not being valued, or I'm used to not being treated like I deserve. And it's almost like it's become a very, that's the right word, because it's not necessarily safe or comforting, but like familiar reality for you. You have embraced uncertainty and watch for signs. This watch for signs card is definitely this indication of being guided into kind of unknown territory, because I feel like the spaces that you've been, and I think that this goes without saying, based on everything I've said so far, don't align with what it is that you deserve. And I think that there's a lot of doubt around ever being able to find those spaces. So I think that this is about trusting the shift that I feel is taking place in your life, especially if there's like, relocating or like changing your environment in some way. That kind of feels like it's coming through. What does Pisces need to know moving forward? Boundaries. This is you kind of stepping into your power around relationships. Because I think that for a while you've kind of just taken what you could get from certain people, and maybe there's a part of you that felt like you were like you had to not have boundaries, like your needs, desires, and feelings didn't really matter. And I think that put you in a lot of situations where you weren't treated like with mutual respect or love or care. And you've given a lot of yourself out, I feel, and this is kind of about like almost like calling back in that energy, reclaiming your power. I feel like this is a very unknown path that you're walking. There's a lot of things that are shifting and changing. that are pushing you into the unknown in a lot of ways, but it's good. It's the unknown isn't necessarily a bad thing. I think a lot of times it can feel really scary because especially if we've existed in a certain reality for so long, it's like, well, I don't really know how to, live in anything different because this is what I'm so used to. But I do feel like that's why things are changing here, is to take you to like more aligned relationships and spaces where you're more respected and valued, and kind of like where people are able to meet you where you deserve to be met. Overall, this is Gabby Bernstein's Super Attractor deck. So usually this is where I pull overall theme. This is kind of like an affirmation to hold on to during your journey. So let's see which one resonates with you the most. I can decide today to recalibrate my energy and commit to love and joy. And that's the thing, Pisces, like you deserve to experience love. You deserve to experience happiness. You deserve to experience all of the things that you give out. Absolutely. But sometimes we try to force it in people that just quite literally aren't capable of meeting us where we want to be met. So I feel like this, because it feels like a transition of some sort. And I don't necessarily know what is like actually happening, like if it's moving or leaving a relationship or changing jobs or what it is, whatever it is, it's moving you further into alignment with what it is that you do deserve. All right, let's look at this past energy. Stay in integrity with release blocks. So what have you been dealing with? Let's dive into this further here. You've been surrounded, this is a very straightforward message. You've been surrounded by a lot of immaturity, almost like dealing with people and situations maybe that aren't like emotionally mature or, I don't know. Like people that just aren't able to meet you where it is that you do deserve to be met. And it does feel for a while, maybe you were trying to make yourself fit into these spaces, almost like shrinking yourself in some ways to fit in. But I also at the same time feel that you were just met with so much disappointment. 5 of Cups, and then you have the Knight of Cups. These spaces, there's definitely this emotional like attachment to these things. Like it's not that you didn't care. I feel like you did care, but it just felt very much like you wanted certain people or certain situations to be like better for you, like capable of more, where it's like, you saw that potential and you saw what was possible and you were trying your hardest to bring that out, but you kept ending up in this 5 of Cups energy and this disappointment kind of energy. What else here? 10 of Pentacles. What is this 10 of Pentacles saying? 3 of Cups in reverse. Trying to force your abundance in spaces you didn't belong. Like looking for love in people who weren't capable of giving you what you deserve. Looking for financial freedom and jobs that didn't respect you or align with you and your highest good. And I think that, sometimes we can show up in the best way we can, right? We can do everything right and certain things still not work out. And it's really easy for us to start to look at ourselves and say, oh, I'm not worthy, I'm not deserving, I didn't do enough, or I'm not enough in this space. But a lot of times what we don't realize is things don't work out, not because we're not enough, but because something else isn't capable of meeting us where we deserve to be met. And I think that that's where it's like hard to kind of take a step back and understand that, yes, there is a side of us that we have to take accountability, right? We have to look at the role that we play in our own suffering, ways that we can show it better, absolutely. But sometimes things just aren't meant to work out for us, not because we don't deserve what we're looking for. We deserve love, we deserve abundance and peace and security and freedom and all of those things, but we might be trying to find it in spaces and places that don't fully align with it. Like if you, go if you're looking for love and somebody who's emotionally unavailable, you're not going to find it. You're not going to have it. You're not going to experience it. So if you turn around and you go, oh, this must mean that I'm not lovable or worthy or deserving or enough, then that's not the case, right? It's not that you're not enough. It's that what you're looking for isn't capable, isn't possible, isn't able to be found in the space that you're looking for it in. So I do feel like the shift that's happening in your life is taking you to spaces that have the ability to actually be what it is that you need and deserve, which is why you have this embrace uncertainty. And again, going back to the strength card, I feel like you are able to handle a lot. You can kind of just put your head down and deal with it. And I think that for maybe most of your life, you've kind of been in this survival mode, and you've probably gotten really, really good at surviving. But you're not just here to survive. You're here to experience love and joy and all of the beautiful things that this life does have to offer you, even if you haven't experienced them yet. All right, let's see. Current energy for you, Pisces. You're feeling stuck in this disappointment. I think that that's because you're looking back and you're saying, I did everything right. Why didn't this work out? I did everything that I could. Why is this not working? And it's almost like you're looking at it all wrong. It's like, why isn't this person valuing me? Why isn't this job panning out the way that I expected? And a lot of that, stems, there's a lot of different reasons, right? Where we try to force things in certain places. For a lot of us, we're taught that we have to prove our worth and our values. So we're in spaces that cause us to have to constantly prove our worth and our value, which in the end actually makes us feel not worthy and not valuable enough. But also, we tend to repeat what we know. And that isn't just a tarot thing, that's a psychology thing. Like, we repeat what it is that we're used to. And when something becomes familiar, even if it's unfulfilling, even if we're not happy in it, even if, ultimately we know deep down it isn't meant for us, we choose it over and over and over again because we know how to survive it. I mean, our ego, we all have an ego, right? Its primary goal is survival. So it's going to choose situations that it knows it can survive. And if you're used to surviving in certain places for so long, of course you're going to stay there, right? Of course you're going to choose it and you're going to try to make it work, because when we look at the bigger picture, you're like, I don't know how else to live. Like, this is what I know. So the thought of things changing and shifting, it brings a lot of anxiety to you, because it's like, well, there's so much that I don't know about, things looking different. What if nothing better comes along? Or what if, even if I only had a little bit of love, or even if I was very unfulfilled, like, at least I had something. That is where we settle for less than what we deserve when we don't believe anything better can come along, right? And we don't do it intentionally. We do it because we're taught that we have to. But that belief, that learned belief, is something that has to be shifted. And we have to understand that our commitment to our own happiness, to our own love and ability to give and receive love has to be the most important. The more that we commit to the belief that there are things that are able to be what we deserve, the less we try to force it in spaces that might not align with us, and the more that we are willing to let go and surrender and go with the flow toward the things that are really meant for us. So yeah, you're in uncertainty right now. Yeah, you're in this energy of disappointment, and I can understand, how you're feeling and all of the things that kind of come with that. But I also feel like Spirit is asking you to trust that where you're headed is so much better than what you're leaving behind. Even if right now it's hard for you to see that. What are you needing to know moving forward? Because this is all about reclaiming, like I said, your power, stepping into your worth, standing up for what you deserve. And when you do that, there are certain things that are going to fall away. Certain things aren't going to see your value, aren't going to align with you, and it's going to make you go, why am I not good enough? It's not that you're not good enough. It's that thing or that situation or that person just isn't aligned with what it is that you deserve. What does Pisces need to know moving forward? Four of Swords in reverse. Your soul is really tired of these situations. And the loss that I feel like you're navigating right now, the things that I feel like are happening in your world, it's not a punishment. And I feel like there's a part of you that's almost like looking at this as like, oh, I don't deserve to be loved, or I don't deserve to have abundance. Like, not, maybe not that might not be for everybody, but I feel like there's a part of you that's like, oh, this is because like I'm not good enough or something. No, your soul is trying to whisper you in toward the sun, fulfillment and abundance and love and light and all of the things that I feel like have kind of been missing in your world. And I think that trusting that every loss is an opportunity for aligning further with what is really meant for us, which of course is not, I mean, when you're in the middle of it, I'm not saying like, oh great, it's, all happening for you, just be happy about it. Of course I'm not saying that. But the more that we can hold on to the belief that things are working out for our highest good, even if we're unable to understand it in the moment, the more that we can surrender to that journey, the more that we can move through the pain, that we can process everything we need to process, allow things to transform, and trust that where we end up on the other side is more aligned with abundance and love and joy and happiness and all of the things that we've been lacking. And that's exactly what this is saying. I feel like what has been lost will be returned to you. Every single ounce of love that has been lost, you will receive again. Every single ounce of abundance of maybe every dollar or whatever it is, it'll all be returned to you, okay? It might not come in the same form, but it's going to come back to you. It's going to find its way back to you. You can have that peace. You can have that stability and security, but almost like more so. It's like you deserve it more. Like not you deserve it more. You've always been deserving of it, but like more and aligned with what it is that you deserve. So it feels like it's coming back tenfold. Everything that's been lost is coming back tenfold is what I'm kind of hearing. And I think that it's not, an easy path to walk, that path of faith and the belief that things are working out for your highest good. But I think the more that you're willing to step into that path, the more that you're going to watch things shift in your favor. All right, I'm going to hop on over to the extended. We're going to dive deeper into this, ultimately looking at what you can do right now to move forward in alignment with your higher self. So looking at the tangible advice, and then I've got an advice card for you to pull at I've got an advice card that I will pull for you at the very end. Before I end this video, I do want to announce that I had my Manifesting Financial Freedom Workshop last Friday, September 19th. Was it 18th or 19th? 19th. And it was wonderful. I had a great time doing it. But I've received a lot of messages after the fact from, I think, people who were like seeing the announcement after the workshop was already done and I sent out all the emails and everything, asking if they could still have access to it. So for a limited time, I have put the replay and the materials and access to the Facebook group and all the things up on my website. That link is at the top of the description box below, if you're interested. Well, thank you, Pisces, so much as always for your support of my channel. I do obviously hope that this reading helped and resonated with you in a way that you were needing today. And I wish you nothing but love and healing and all of the wonderful things you deserve and desire on your journey moving forward. Bye, Pisces.